I've got two amazing guests about to come up who, are just crushing it on Amazon and as awesome moms, and they have the coolest accents in the freaking world. Let's go ahead and bring them on. We've got Sharon and Cara. I can't say Cara.
No, you've got to say Cara. Remember, we had this conversation.
Yes. All right, just like a TikTok video, right? All right, Sharon, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, for those who don't know, both of these individuals here were on Serious Sellers podcast, so you can get their full backstory on the podcast. Just go to helium10.com/podcast and search for their names. But for those who didn't hear that episode, first of all, Sharon, can you tell us about what you do, like your history in Amazon, how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, just before I do, I see someone wrote in the thing that the PRC, the clocks aren't at the right time. I know they're not at the right time. They've stopped of the clocks in the background. Anyway, so my name is Sharon Evan, and I am an Amazon seller. I am a brand builder. I am a YouTuber. I'm an Amazon coach, and I'm a mom and a wife. And that's me.
All right.
In a nutshell.
I love it. Short and to the point. Cara?
Okay, so I don't consider myself to be an Amazon seller. I just happen to see Amazon as one of my sales channels. But fortunately, it's one of my most profitable. But I invented a range of baby products, which are called Snooze Shade. And they are sun and sleep shades that help babies sleep and protect them from the sun. And I started the business 10 years ago. And went down the traditional route, which was the whole kind of like big box retailers, etc., and have now moved into the whole world of Amazon, because I thought if people can make millions selling garlic presses and kitchen spatulas, then I can do it with my amazing products. And so last year I kind of hit 7 figures, which I was absolutely gobsmacked by. And gobsmacked, just FYI, is shocked or surprised in American.
Did you know what that meant, Sharon?
Yeah. We say it.
I guess either Australians, people from New Zealand, UK.
Yeah,
everybody.
we have a strange language. It's called English.
New Zealanders and English people have the same type of English. I say can't. Cara will say can't. Right, Cara? You say can't in dance, not dance.
Oh, good Lord, no. We don't say, yes, we say can't. I can't.
Yeah. I can't. Yeah. So
I can't dance, and I can't dance. You can see where my podcast with Bradley went. It ended up with the Make It So Star Trek whole thing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're going there.
Where's my Star Wars stuff? Anyways, yes.
Come on, Bradley, get us back on.
All right, I gotta get it back on track here. I knew it was trouble to have both of you guys on at the same time, but hey, we're all in. Sharon, what is one of your tactics that you think really has helped you be as successful as you are on Amazon? Would you say it's the kind of PPC strategy you do, or is it the way you get reviews? Is it your launch strategy? What is the one thing that you think has helped you the most out of your SOPs?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd probably say that it's probably the product selection rather than, PPC is definitely an amazing thing, but I'd say it's the product selection. And I'd say, when Cara said she doesn't consider herself an Amazon seller, it's funny that she says that, because I always tell people that I'm not just an Amazon seller. So brand awareness is something that is very, very important. Everything, like our brands are on Amazon and off Amazon. So I always say it started with Amazon, but it grew a lot bigger than that. What are you doing? Whoa.
Whoa, we've gone triple.
I'm just having fun here. Sorry.
He's messing around with buttons is what he's doing.
Yeah. Your drink, the whole drink thing that you're doing there is like, I
love it. What is that, like Monster juice or what is it, Red Bull or something?
Bubbly.
It's an American thing. I think.
Is that like a natural, like Guyana or whatever it's called?
No calorie, no sweetener, carbonated drinks, because I'm trying to get to pre-coronavirus weight. But yeah. I just keep drinking it just because I want to see the green.
Good luck with that.
All right, but so Sharon, you mentioned your product research strategy is what you feel helps you. Like, so what do you think that you're doing differently than you don't have to give us your exact strategy, so not everybody has it, but just in general, what's your strategy?
I don't know if if I should say it, but because I don't. So personally, for product selection, I'm just going to be really honest. I don't use softwares to find products. I use Helium 10 and only Helium 10 for everything apart from that. I find my products off of the normal, like kind of similar to what you guys are doing. I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve, but to be honest, the products that I bring in today are only on brand. If it's not on brand, it doesn't come in. But it's definitely out of the
sleeve.
So what's that, Brad? Are you doing some muscle man or something?
No.
So yeah, I would just say that most of my methods, which I actually on my YouTube channel, like I don't hide them. I've been doing Pinterest for years, and a lot of just logic. I think really to answer back your question before, the main thing that's made me successful as I am is logic. That's actually the best answer I could give. Just I use a lot of logic and I know how to find opportunities, and yeah, that's the best answer I have. Just really thinking outside the box, and not everything has to, like, I don't go with the grain. I don't do what everyone else does. And that's important.
I think that's excellent. That's excellent. Cara, what about you? What is your what has helped you? You said last year you got to 7 figures. What do you think was the biggest factor in that? Was it your brand building? Was it your social media? Was it your product selection? Was it your listing optimization? What was it?
Sweetie, it was all of it. What makes me laugh is that Sharon is kind of the polar opposite of me, because I don't think I've applied logic in anything that I have done in business in the last 10 years, if I'm brutally honest. But I do think it's slightly different when you invent a product and versus choosing a product. So I have actually looked at what I would call complementary products, which I could bring on board alongside the rest of the brand. And those I have chosen because I know that customers that buy my products buy those products. So it kind of makes perfect sense for me to take some of that market share. But no, I think one of the things where I excel is obviously my background is not anything to do with retail or manufacture, etc. So my background was PR marketing. So I launched Amazon in the UK when it was a bookstore in Slough, which is where the Office was originally based. If you ever saw that program, the UK version, obviously. And then we also worked on the launch of eBay and ASOS, and a lot of companies like that. Oh, you've changed your background now, Bradley. You've gone all flash. I've only got the kitchen in the background. My cat will probably walk over my shoulder. So for me, it's all about PR. It's all about social media. So it's about, I have celebrity fans of my products. I've had and I hate to say it, but an HRH, that's a Royal Highness, use my products. I've had celebrities like Kate Winslet and various other people, like you name it. I've had loads of celebrity fans. And I think that for me, so that's what I mean when I don't see myself as an Amazon seller. Having said that, one of the things I think is so important that people forget when they're selling on Amazon is that you should always look at it like the buyer, not the seller. So what is the buyer looking for, right? And I can assure you, even though I had a brand, and my brand is actually in brand analytics as a search term, but I can assure you that I would make more money out of the keywords that people are looking for than my brand name. And I think that's one of the things that people forget is that actually when someone is searching on Amazon, they've got their wallet out, they're ready to buy, but at the same time, they are looking for a thing, a keyword, etc. They're not necessarily looking for your brand. And that's where like all the reviews, the listing, the product descriptions, the A+, that's one of the things actually I've been doing in lockdown is I have never had the time to actually do any A+ listings. And I've just done quite a few of those now, which is great. I'm not sure if it's given me the 5% lift that they tell me it's going to give, but I've had a 50% drop in the UK and a 95% drop in the US. But the good thing about having lifted it because my product's primarily a travel product, and obviously no one's traveling at the moment. But the good thing is that I got up to 7 figures, and now even if I hit only 10%, I'm still at a point where I can run the business, keep it ticking along. And then when we come out of this, what I call a blip, rather a long blip, a bit too long blip for my liking, if I'm brutally honest. But when we come out of this, which we will, then basically we can get back to normal-ish.
Okay. Speaking of that, Sharon, how has COVID-19 coronavirus affected your business, both from just a sales viewpoint and like, are you struggling at all with some of those things such as replenishment, et cetera?
I just want to say something about what Cara, because Cara, sure. I really encourage people to, if they have a great invention, to invent products. And a lot of YouTubers and gurus, whatever you want to call it, are against that.
Yeah,
so
I just want inventing.
I want you to know, I made a video on YouTube like 3 or 4 weeks ago about great inventions that were launched on Amazon. So actually, because I didn't know you, I had a look at your brand before, and I was like that is exactly what I call like an inventor is something that I love.
Do you know Aldi, the supermarket?
Yeah.
So they copied my bestseller last year, and I sued their butt.
I saw that article. But to go back to your question, Bradley, so we have a baby brand, which is nothing like Cara's. Our baby brand is actually for the mothers and not for the babies. And we have 2 beauty brands. And the beauty brand was down about 40%, I would say, last month because of it's high-end beauty products. And our baby brand has more or less now gone back to normal, but last month it went up a lot. So we're kind of evening out. The beauty brand, I'm trying to find really interesting ways to do what I can there. Like I've been using, I don't know if you guys use Amazon Posts. I've been using that a lot lately, and I've just found it being like really amazing.
That's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, like I've had some products that I couldn't get onto certain listings with PPC, and Amazon's Post really helped. And in general, I'd say that we're doing okay. We're doing fine.
Well, you do know that in a crisis situation, there's something called the lipstick effect.
No, what's the lipstick effect?
So the lipstick effect is literally when the world is in crisis, women still want to wear their lipstick. They still want to look good. They still need to do all the stuff they need to do. So if you can
100%.
I don't know what kind of beauty product it is, because I know in many ways.
It's not the typical cosmetics based product, but it is right now, Shane. But no, we'll be fine. So yeah, we're doing okay. It was a tough month last month. We're doing okay now. Thankfully, I made shipping plans the minute that I realized what was going on. Even though we're in beauty, I was scared that it would, they wouldn't allow us to send back products in. We're going to have a product that's going to go out of stock soon, which is like the first time I'll go out of stock for like, I think over a year, which is just crazy. But yeah, we're doing okay. The hardest thing really during COVID is just being with a 3-year-old at home, to be honest.
Oh, God, that's a challenge. That's what a 12-year-old, that's bad enough.
That's like the hardest
let's talk about that a little bit. Both of you are mothers. How do you
don't hold it against us?
Of course not. That's your super. That's one of your many.
That's one of our superpowers. You're right.
So, Cara, I believe. I mean, you've been selling on Amazon forever. So, but there was a point where you did have your daughter, and you weren't like full time on Amazon, right?
Oh no. So when I started the business, my daughter was a baby, and I was trying to like run the whole business and be a full-time mum to a baby, and and I had a full-on massive nervous breakdown in my first year of trading, and it had nothing to do with Amazon because I wasn't even on Amazon in those days, because I was dealing with all the big retailers. And the thing is that I'm very lucky now because my daughter's 12 and she's quite sort of independent and does her own thing, and her school are really good at doing all her stuff. But I've got a friend of mine who has got like a 2-year-old. Oh my God, being quarantined with a small child who really doesn't understand very much. I think I would literally be outside shoving my head into the swimming pool and probably never coming out, because it is super stressful. It is super stressful. I mean, they are divine and they are gorgeous and everything else. I mean, I remember one time when I was having a conversation with a major retailer in the UK, and they rang just at the time when I was getting my daughter up from a nap. And she decided that she would have a poo fest, and she would basically take her nappy off, a diaper, sorry, for the American audience, her diaper off, and spread the love all over the bedroom, okay, as I walked in on the phone to said retailer, and I'm like literally gagging going, oh my God, I don't know what. And in the end, I was like, I'm ever so sorry. I do have to deal with it's a punami. I have to go. But fortunately, I think working
we're learning lots of vocabulary, Godsmack and punami, and oh my goodness. But Sharon, how do you do it then? Like, what are some tips? I mean, we probably have hundreds and hundreds of mothers and fathers who are watching this, thousands probably, watching this right now, or who are going to watch this on the replay, who have a child in those years. You know, my kids are 15 and 18, so if they have punami, I have a lot more serious issues. But
you look like you're 20, so it's just crazy that you have a 15 and an 18-year-old. But yeah, I hope to look like you when I have when my kids 15, when I grow up. I mean, I'm 31, so I'm 31. My son is 3. I'm not going to pretend as if it's easy. It's very difficult. I'm very, very lucky to have such an amazing husband who is very much an active father. But you know, we're a husband and wife team, so it's now like, who's working, who's with the kid, who's working, who's with the kid. You know, like, and we've been really good during quarantine. We haven't seen anyone. I will be honest and say that for the last week, my mum has come here to help us because I was about to, like, I don't know, die. So my mum's here now helping us, but it was a full 40 days that it was just my husband, myself, and my son. And anyone who knows me, a lot of my followers are here right now. I work my butt off. So I've been working till like 4 or 5 a.m. every day because it's the only hours I've had. So I'm not going to pretend as if it's easy.
That's the way it goes. I mean, I remember when when my daughter was that sort of age, I used to put her down to sleep, and then I'd start working like 8 o'clock in the morning. Then I'd start working until about 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Then I'd usually used to get my mum over so that I could then sleep because I was so exhausted, so she could look after my daughter and I could have a bit of a rest.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Going back to something Cara mentioned about somebody did kind of copy her product. So like, did you have any kind of special help? Like, you know, you had a friend who was a lawyer, or just you as a brand owner were able to just figure out how to go against a bigger company who had copied your product? Or is this something that anybody could be able to do?
So I was very lucky, and I've got a friend of mine who actually specializes. She has a company, it's called Snapdragon in the UK, and it basically monitors copies of products, etc. Now, I never actually used her services, but I posted because I was all over the place. So I was in every national newspaper, etc., etc. And she messaged me and she said, I've got my lawyer and he's fantastic. Do you want to get in touch? I was like, yes, please. So I got in touch with the lawyers, and I'm still working with them now, because the Aldi case we settled a few months ago, or last year it might have been. And then I had another copycat who used copied my product, and not only copied my product, but also used my imagery that I had taken and then made it black and white and thought that was okay. So I'm in the middle of sorting them out at the moment. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there are lots of ways you can get people. And also the other thing is that, you know, people quite often, as they should be, are rightly afraid of lawyers, because half the time they're just taking the mick and they're taking an opportunity to copy.
You gotta clarify that for Americans.
Oh, what, taking the mick? Taking the pee?
Taking the piss.
Taking the piss, but I was trying to be polite because I got told off last time I swore, and I'm a real swearer.
Okay, I think now I know what.
But anyway,
every time with Cara, I learn so many new words.
I know you do every day, darling. Every day I speak to you, you know, you learn a new word. It's a special Cara word. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you know, you're always going to get copycats. But the thing is, I mean, I've got copycats of other products that I sell as well, and part of my brand. And you know what? I take it as a compliment, because most of the time they compete on price. What they never compete on is quality. And so my products are super, super quality, high quality. They are super safe. And basically, it would be very difficult for anybody to create a product that was as safe as mine and designed in the same way. So that's where having a brand is important, because if you build up a brand that has a trust factor, then basically people learn to trust that, you know, your brand is going to be a better brand to buy it from. And that's why people choose Coke, they choose Pepsi, whatever, because it's based on a brand decision, probably not on taste. There's a question about how much do I outsource? So I'm one of these people who I don't believe in the egotistical side of business where it's like, how big do I make myself look? I'm all about being as lean and mean as physically possible. So I still run the business. This is literally in my kitchen, and this is where I run the business from. I have a team of people who help me, but I don't employ anybody. So I have a team of freelancers. I have people who help me with social media, accounting. I outsource my warehousing. I'm not going to be taking on warehousing costs. And I basically run the business to be as super lean as possible. And that's why actually when COVID hit and my business plummeted, it's actually made it absolutely survivable for me. So I think it's one of those things where there's a sort of traditional business school ethos, which is sort of, you know, you've got to get an office, you've got to get a team of staff, you've got to have a warehouse, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. No, sod that, none of that. You don't need any of it, right? And you need to stay lean and mean, and you need to be able to pivot at any given point. So up until now, I normally teach when I talk to people, I teach them to do FBA. I've had a lesson in FBM over the last month, and I am now like the queen of FBM as well as FBA. So I'm actually fulfilling my FBMs from my FBA. So I'm not even touching my stock. Amazon are delivering it faster than I could do it otherwise. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you just have to swivel constantly. You've always got to be like looking at the latest way that, you know, take advantage of what you've got and learn to shift really quickly when you work in this sort of environment.
Okay. We got about 3-4 minutes left before Chris joins us. So let's try and mow through these questions. This is how it goes. Like all of a sudden, like 100 questions come in at the last second. So Sharon, this one's for you. How many hours a week do you normally spend on your business, and has that changed during this last couple months?
So Rhonda, I have a lot of different things that I do. My Amazon business, I don't need to spend that many hours on. That's the truth. It's Amazon's business is like, I don't know, like a maximum of like 2 hours a day. But apart from that, I do coaching and I do YouTube, and I have a lot of other things that I do as well. So that's, I work all day. I literally work from the minute I wake up until the minute I go to sleep. So that's the truth.
Cara, would you start a new invented product directly on Amazon, or would you do some crowdfunding first?
I do both. Basically, I think crowdfunding nowadays is fantastic. It's amazing for awareness, etc. But whenever I see a product that's being crowdfunded, I immediately go and have a look on Amazon and see what's going on. Same with any Facebook ads. I'm one of these real suckers, and I'm always pulled in like, oh my God, I can have this amazing foundation that's going to perfectly match my skin. Oh, I can have this, I can have that. So I then immediately go to Amazon. I can find exactly the same product for half the price. So nowadays, I would absolutely 100% recommend forget doing what I did, which is going into all the big boxes. And now I would just sell directly on Amazon worldwide. Excellent.
Excellent. All right. Same. And that was for Cara, but what do you think about that one, Sharon? That question.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of inventing a product with actually one of my UK clients. I've been speaking about it a lot. He's probably here, Declan. So we're working together with Gemba. We're going to launch this product on Amazon, but we're also going to get it. And so Amazon America, like US, Amazon Canada, and Amazon UK all at the same time. But it's a type of medical product that has a huge need basically in the market. I definitely believe in inventing products and launching them on Amazon if it makes sense, right? Not everything makes sense to be on Amazon. This product 100% makes sense. It's the type of product that people would be embarrassed to buy in stores and things like that. So if it makes sense, hell yeah, you can 100%.
And I kind of think there's not really that many products that don't work on Amazon, really, like within a certain price point, because ultimately, I mean, the way I always, when I teach, like how do you do your listings, etc., it's very much more about what the person needs from the product. And sometimes, like you say, it could be an embarrassment factor. It could be they don't want to go to the shop and buy it. But also sometimes it's literally just, I tell you what, I am as impatient as beep, and I want everything yesterday. And normally Prime, around where I live, I can get Prime that evening sometimes, and definitely the next day, not the moment, obviously. But like I want everything fast because that's the way that I live my life. And so Amazon gives that speed. And I think that's what's really critical in any product, really, is that people want it and they want it now.
Awesome. All right. A lot of people are asking, now we're at the close of this session, how to reach you on like your YouTube channel. So first, let's go to Sharon. What's your YouTube channel? How can people find you? Instagram or find out about your coaching, things like that?
On YouTube, it's Sharon Evan, EVEN. On Facebook and Instagram, it's official Sharon Evan. And my Facebook group is Amazon FBA Alphas.
All right.
And you can reach me on any one of them. You can find me. I live there basically.
Awesome. Cara, same question for you.
I'm the opposite of Sharon, so I don't do any of that really. So
what's your TikTok, Cara?
Huh?
I said, what's your
TikTok?
Yeah, exactly.
Cara has a TikTok.
No, I am instead. Everyone keeps nagging me that I've got to do more to help other people and do coaching and all the rest of it. So I am trying to do that. So I have a Facebook page, which is called Make It, Market It, Sell It. And that's kind of it really, because I'm the only carousel on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere basically. I'm the only carousel in the world. So that kind of makes it really easy to find me, but please don't stalk me and ask me to marry you, because if you do, I will probably say no. I get a lot of marriage proposals on a daily basis from a lot of very attractive American men who seem to be based in India, which is strange. I think it's because I'm divorced.
Okay. All right, this is a great moment to end this, I think, right now. But real quick, we haven't been doing this. Cassandra, can you get your camera ready? All right, let's do a quick pose here. Let's throw up the helium-10. I should have been doing this all day. Let's throw up the helium-10.
What are we doing? Have I got to put my hands up?
There you go. Not like, hey, not like that. The helium-10. Cassandra, can you Snapchat or Snapchat?
Hold on, which way am I
Snap this picture. All right, helium-10. There we go. All right, guys. So tag anybody who took that picture. Tag all of our Instagrams. Man Reminds, Crazy Sock TV. Anyways, Cara and Sharon, thank you very much for joining. And if you guys want to find out more about them, check out our podcast that we do.
Next wave.